What's going on, guys? Mike here, and what a nice little change of pace we got going on. We got some big boy Dota 2 for you this lovely evening. And I know you're probably looking at the video and you're probably like, wow, that is a long video. Well, it is, and oh well. Dota 2 games, you can't really do much about it. The games do last fairly long, and you know, instead of me just going through and fast-forwarding through parts, I figured we could watch a full gameplay of me playing, and I'm not really sure what is going on here. Just make sure it clicked on me. Okay, I guess this is me just clicking around, looking around the map, seeing where people are. So I am casting this game. I will quote-unquote say casting. It's pretty much just watching my movements. I'm not really going to be clicking around the map externally, aside from what I was doing in the game. But yeah, so I wanted to, you know, get back into Dota 2. I have been playing it quite a bit recently. I've been playing with Asviz, been playing with Mr. Raven, because that's just what we do. And, you know, what better way to get back into playing than making videos afterwards for your enjoyment? I'm pretty much only going to pick the games where I feel like I do really well. You know, I generally play support, just because not many people play support out there, and I find support to be fun, even though it does suck not being able to win every game, or not being able to win for your team. But, you know, it's gratifying to know, like, you're that support player, you're that person who's going to be helping your team win, warding, and all that stuff. So right now I'm playing Nyx Assassin. He's someone that I've been playing, actually, fairly recently. I'm surprised I actually did not die here, but this Spectre actually got a little too greedy going for the kill, and she ended up getting owned for it. And then I just walk off into the woods here, heal up with some tangos, and be good to go. But as I was saying, you know, not many people play support in games. As you can look at my team right now, we have Shadow Fiend, Bounty Hunter, Night Stalker, Invoker, 4 carries, whether they're hard or semi-carries, and then myself as Nyx, playing that support role. And I mean, if you look at the other team, you do have Alina, Spectre, Life Stealer, Kunkka, and Earthshaker. So, I mean, they have a little bit more on the supportive role, but you know, a lot of people in these pub games, they tend to play these hard carries, and it's very hard to do anything for. Right here, we actually went for a kill, and I'm actually going to pay for it with my life, but Shadow Fiend ended up picking up the kill, which is, you know, better than nothing in my opinion. I'd much rather him get the kill than no one get the kill, or than him die. I'm just going to pause this real quick. I'm just going to lower the volume really fast. Audio. Actually, master volume is pretty low as it is. Just going to lower the game volume just a little bit. Okay, let's get this bad boy back going. Play, and spectator eye, go away. There we go. With my mouse go away. Okay, so as I was saying, I have been playing the support roles. The champions that excuse me, oh my god, I haven't played League of Legends in months. So, don't even know why that word's even in my dictionary anymore. But the heroes that I tend to play a lot have been, you know, I do play a lot of Dazzle. Shadow Demon, I've been loving Shadow Demon. I've been playing him a ton. I've been playing a little bit of Lina, a little bit of Lion. Witch Doctor I've played a little bit of. Pretty much your basic support players. I haven't been playing, like, you know, those off support players like Nyx as much. I have actually been picking up Nyx a little bit more now. And, you know, I'm actually really enjoying it. Nyx has a very interesting play style. Early on, he's actually pretty mana-starved, which is why the build I kind of went with. I'm kind of hoping, I shouldn't say hoping, I'm kind of banking on the idea of picking up a lot of clarities, you know, just so that when I am moving from lane to lane, I will be able to actually do something with it. Here I kind of messed up a little bit. I should have just stayed in front of him rather than started auto-attacking him. But his Tango actually ended up keeping him alive, and our Night Stalker got a little too greedy. He actually went in for the dive, and he ends up getting rocked. It was a nice stun strike there by Invoker, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough damage, and then Night Stalker just ends up getting picked off while I run away. There's really no reason to chase that. I mean, the kill got away, and Night Stalker just ended up getting greedy. The problem is there was a lot of bickering going on in the voice chat on my team. They were yelling at each other, Invoker and Night Stalker, because Night Stalker wanted middle, but Invoker took middle. So then Night Stalker, instead of, you know, adapting to it and accepting that Invoker was going to be playing middle, Night Stalker just went middle and ended up fighting for last hits, fighting for this. They were screaming at each other, you know, Night Stalker calling Invoker a noob, Invoker calling Night Stalker, so it was just a mess. And, I mean, I do rage in games a little bit, but to be honest, when you play support, you have to expect, bad play, kind of. You're not going to win every game when you play support, so I kind of just accept it, and I kind of really don't badmouth anybody too much. I kind of just do my job. If I see my team fighting, I'll talk to them. I'll type it out. Guys, like, what's the point? Just play the game the way it's meant to be played. There's no point screaming at each other. But anyway, so back to the game. As you can see here, I'm only level 2. We're about 5 minutes into the game. I am playing that roaming role right now as a support. As a Nyx, you don't really need much levels. I mean, you have a stun, which is your impale. Then you have your spiked carapace, which if you time right, it's another stun and a damage reflect. So you do have a lot of utility at very low levels. My mana burn, I do end up picking up. I believe I pick it up level 3 or maybe level 4. I don't pick it up right away. But right here we're actually going in for a kill on Lina and, stun into Invoker Sunstrike into just death. So yeah, pick up that kill, hit level 3, and I start moving away, start heading back towards middle, or I believe bottom, in order to try to pick up another kill. So for the lanes that we have set up here, we have Bounty Hunter soloing bot lane against an Earthshaker. Middle lane here we have Night Stalker and Invoker versus a Kunkka. We have myself roaming around the map, and we have a Shadow Fiend who is soloing top. So we have 2 solos pretty much, all just, Shadow Fiend getting his levels, Bounty Hunter getting his levels, and myself running around, getting all the levels that I could possibly use. And right here we do go for a kill on Kunkka, and I do believe he's going to boat and probably get away from this. Night Stalker's I believe Night Stalker dives this again and actually ends up getting killed. Because once again, Night Stalker, what he was doing, he was pretty much complaining that early game he has to get all these kills in order for him to snowball very effectively, which is true, but it's only true when you're playing that mid-solo role, which he really wasn't doing. He was duo midding, which is very, not to say it's very, very odd to see, because, a lot of teams will have, one guy is mid and have a supporting him, which they were not doing. They were both playing hard roles, and that's what they decided to do. But anyway, right here, I end up going back to base, picking up, I believe, 2 TPs. I'm going to TP mid because our Bounty Hunter is sitting middle with an Invisirune, and I believe we're going to go here and try to pick up a kill. I'm not sure who he gets. I believe there you go. Night Stalker picks up Kunkka, and then we end up chasing down Lina here for the stun, and I believe I'm going to do a little bit of blocking it. Oh, no, that's when I pick up the mana burn, and I believe she wands, but Night Stalker ends up picking up the kill anyway. Lina actually almost hit that stun, and if Lina hit that stun, would have been game over for pretty much Night Stalker and Invoker. So, the other team was actually playing very well. And, it was a fun game overall, minus all the bickering and the bad-mouthing that was going on. But that's why I also decided to upload this video, showing that even as a support role, you can actually have good games and you can kind of turn the tides of battles. You'll see that as the game progresses. There's a lot of times where I actually end up winning the battle for our team or coming out on top for our team. I mean, as a support, you're not really meant to be getting all these kills. You actually probably shouldn't even get any kills, to be honest. Your main goal is assists, and your main goal is to pretty much ward, and, that's pretty much it. Like, that's what a support does. They support the carries in order to get the kills. Unlike, let's say, like other games, for example, like League of Legends, your support's always picked up kills, but whatever. I guess I really shouldn't compare the two. So right here, I'm, still roaming around. Invoker actually just got killed bottom after he fought Earthshaker, but unfortunately he did not make it out when Nakes went for him. I'm going to be calling him Nakes because that's what I know him as from the original Dota. So I mean, like I said, I've been getting really back into Dota 2. I feel like, it's a game that I've been playing since the beginning back in the original Warcraft 3 mod, and it's a game that I feel like I will always be playing for quite some time. And, it's rather enjoyable, at least for me. So that's why I will be playing it. So right here, we had Nakes come in, face check the secret shop, and now me and Bounty Hunter are going to go in for the kill here. I probably should have popped the clarity before we went on this chase, because I do believe Bounty Hunter might end up dying. Or Nakes might end up getting away. No, Nakes actually picks up our courier kill. We don't have a flying courier. That is 100% my fault. As a support, you should be that should be like your first priority. Upgrade the courier to flying courier. I've had the money this whole time to do it. I just haven't done it. To be honest, I think I kind of forgot at this point because I actually started early fairly good. I mean, I'm 0-1-5 right now, so I'm doing what needs to be done for our team. and I'm getting some extra assist gold, the first thing you should do is jump that into a courier. So that's my fault on that. But, you know, as for the wards, we are keeping wards up. I do believe I keep about 2 wards up the entire game. Until about midway through, I think I run out of inventory space or something, and I tried a sentry. But the other team was actually centering before us. And we only have 1 range. Oh, no, we have 2 range. Never mind, this was a different game. There was actually a game I played where we had no ranged on our team, and we were unable to counter ward them whatsoever. So it was kind of dumb. But anyway, so I TP'd to top tier 2 tower. I'm not level 6 yet. I'm hoping for level 6. I do see Kunkka pick up that Invis rune, and I do believe I alert my team about it. And, you know, as you can see, Shadow Fiend he's playing a little too aggressive, I feel like, for someone who just picked up an Invis rune. You know, Kunkka, all he really needs to do is boat in, and that's kill. Or boat, X marks your spot, and just plow him with it. So, but, you know, I figured I'm right behind him, so I really don't think he'll be dying anytime soon. Earthshaker just picked up a kill on Bounty Hunter. I'm not really sure how that happened. I feel like Bounty Hunter should really never die to an Earthshaker. But here I do pick up level 6, and we are going around for the gank. I actually went behind the tower to Invis just so that they thought maybe I left. But Spectre's going to sit here. I'm not really sure what she's doing, and this is going to be an easy pickup here. Vendetta into a stun, into a quick Shadow Raise, and Shadow Fiend picks up the kill. So that moves me to 0, 1, and 6. I do believe I'm saving up my money here to pick up Arcane Boots. Arcane Boots are much needed on Nyx, especially when you play support. He has mana issues very early on, and you need the Arcane Boots. Here's Nightstalker again. I don't know. Nightstalker, I felt like he was pretty much punishing Invoker or trying to, you know, make Invoker seem like the bad guy for not letting him solo middle. But, you know, just running around feeling like that isn't going to help anyone. I mean, if you look at his score, he's 3 and 4. So, I mean, he's not doing terrible. You know, he is -1 overall. But 2, 3 of those deaths could have been prevented if he just wasn't greedy or he wasn't, you know, trying to chase in spite of another player. But right here I see Kunkka, top lane at his tier 1, rather low. So I figure, you know, ult's up. Going to ult in, going to go in for this Vendetta into stun kill. And I do believe Shadow Fiend might be making his way down. Yep, there he is. And that's going to be a quick kill. Bam. I probably should have let Shadow Fiend get the kill, but I actually really wanted my Arcane Boots, so I was kind of a little bit greedy for myself there, so I figured I'd pick up my Arcane Boots. We were going to just let the tower hit us and take it down, but they did end up fortifying. So now that I got my energy booster, got my Arcane Boots, you know, moving stuff around in my key bindings, grant some more mana to myself, and Shadow Fiend, and now we're going to push down the tier 1. I don't remember if they try to... they do actually try to defend this. And I do believe we end up... Yeah, there's a Spectre kill. I do believe I get the stun off on Earthshaker. And Earthshaker's going to get a stun. I do believe I spike Carapace that, and it ends up killing him. And now Nake's going to try to hunt me down. But luckily, Bounty Hunter was here to support me. Do a little bit of juking in the forest. Or in the trees. And able to get away. If I had Arcane Boots up, I would have probably went back in and went for the stun. But, you know, I felt like I pretty much did all I can do. I probably could have stunned a little bit earlier in order for Shadow Fiend to possibly live. Not 100% sure. But I end up living, pick up 2 kills in the process. So now I'm 2, 1, and 6. You know, doing fairly well. Still haven't upgraded the courier because I'm a terrible support player, it seems like. And that's that. So, current item build right now, Arcane Boots, Null Talisman, 1 TP, Sage's Mask, Gauntlets of Strength, and an Ironwood Branch. I probably could have a wand, but I felt like, you know, they didn't really have much in terms of spell casting. I mean, Lena's a big spellcaster, Earthshaker's a big spellcaster, but the rest they kind of just run around and just melee hit. So I felt like a wand wasn't going to be super effective, although wands you should probably always have because you could just stack the charge until you had 15 and right before you die pop it. You know, it's great extra health, great extra mana. And that's that. So right here I'm going in for another kill. I Vendetta up, and I thought maybe he was going to go to the secret shop area, try to get a gank on Shadow Fiend, but he does not. Looks like they all actually end up going middle, so here I am going to try to TP in, but 1v3 I'm not really going to be able to do much. But as you can see, Nightstalker is down again, so there goes that. I'm not sure if we actually try to defend this. You know, it's only me and Invoker here right now, and we don't really have much to keep them off. You know, I can throw stuns, but I don't think it really is that effective. I do believe oh, there we go, dodge that. I didn't even realize. That was actually a great Sunstrike there on Invoker. He actually managed to just hit Spectre and all of that. And we do get the deny on the tower here, so that is very nice for us. So I would say that's a successful defend. You know, we do get the deny. Just me and Invoker managed to push them back. And, you know, we're going to move on our way. So just about 500 gold. I believe at this point I was going for a Yules. The reason I was going for Yules is the mana regen on Yules is really, really nice. And them having so much physical, I felt like the Yules would actually give me some time, kind of like what a Ghost Scepter would do. It would give me that invulnerability period in order, you know, if they're jumping on me. It'll give me that time in order to actually live against them. So here I am running to the courier, still not upgraded because, you know, apparently Flying Courier is overrated just about 16 minutes into the game. But that's neither here nor there. I do pick up an urn, so I lied. Urn was what my next item was. A little bit of a late urn in my opinion, you know, just about a 16-minute urn. But I do actually end up getting a fair amount of stacks on it, and it actually turns into quite the helping for my team. I feel you need at least one urn on the team, and since Nightstalker wasn't picking up an urn, I felt like I was going to pick up the urn. I was possibly thinking going drums, but I feel like drums kind of lose their, you know, they kind of fade off towards like the middle of the game. Yes, the movement speed is nice, but I felt like the Yules was going to be a little bit better, especially for the team fights. You know, being able to use an enemy. I was trying to focus on Nyx for the Yules or possibly Spectre. And right here, I'm not sure if I actually do believe we pick up Earthshaker. There we go, picked up Earthshaker. I broke my Vendetta early for it. Yes, I don't get the bonus damage, but it was the only way to catch him. And right here, I actually spiked Carapace and run into the boat from Kunkka, just so we can get an extra stun and some damage in on him, and we would be able to get away safely. Right here, I do give an urn charge to, what's his name, to Bounty Hunter, but unfortunately he does end up dying. Really nothing I'm able to do about that. Right here, I actually run past the Illusion Rune a little bit, then pick it up in order to just get a little bit of a block off. And I believe I'm possibly going for the kill on Nyx. I'm not sure if I do get it or not. You know, he does have Rage, and he hits like a truck when he has Rage on. He also, amuleted me. And I believe I come in here in order to get the kill. I don't know how that Dragon Slave didn't kill me. But, you know, I'm pretty much just sitting here trying not to die. I believe I actually do have enough mana for another stun, so I do come back in here for another stun, and we do end up picking the kill. I do give it to Nightstalker. Again, he's our carry, and he kind of had a crappy start, so I figured I'd do that. It looks like we do have a Flying Courier now. I actually believe Shadow Fiend upgraded it, so thank you, Shadow Fiend. You know, if you're watching this video, which I highly doubt, thank you for that. But, so pretty much just to give you guys a perspective of what this game was like, it was pretty much me running around trying to assist everyone with kills, and the rest of the 4 players on my team bitching at each other. Shadow Fiend was bitching at everyone because he was farming and we were actually trying to win the game. Granted, Shadow Fiend needs to farm, but you know, when there's 5 people pushing a lane, and you have one of your highest DPS on your team in another lane just farming, and we end up getting pushed all the way down, there's not really much we can do. Right here, I actually had a quick search for Yules because apparently I don't know what goes into Yules. Well done. So yeah, so it was pretty much Shadow Fiend running around bitching that all we were doing was team fighting and not including him. Bounty Hunter was bitching at Invoker for not letting Nightstalker solo. Nightstalker was bitching at Invoker because he didn't let him solo. And Invoker was just bitching at Nightstalker because he was being nasty to him. So right here, it's a 4-on-3 right now, or it just turned into a 4-on-4. I figured we'd pick off Earthshaker first, just because, you know, he has that stun and he has that high amount of burst damage. Again, right here, Kunkka boated, and I decided to stay into it and spiked Carapace it, just to get that extra stun and damage in on him. Lina ends up going down, and I do believe Nakes are going to end up going down here as well. I do believe I spiked Carapace again, just to reflect some damage or something. I'm actually not sure if it did anything. But overall, that was a successful team fight. You know, it was 4 for none, or it might have been 4 for 1. I'm not sure if someone died in the start. And, you know, at this point I was like, okay, you know, the team's starting to pick up. We're starting to get into a rhythm. And, you know, everyone's starting to do really well. You know, I just picked up a new set of wards. Got a haste rune going top. I believe Nightstalker's probably going to pick up that haste rune. And I'm like, all right. So a game that started off rather shitty, actually starting to turn around. You know, I got my level 2 ult, so now my ult lasts, I believe, 25 seconds rather than 15, or 30 seconds rather than 20, something like that. I could probably look at it right now, actually. Yeah, it lasts 35 instead of 20. So it gives me pretty much that time of using my ult and being able to just run around and keeping my ult on almost at full duration. Rank 3, when you're Nyx, pretty much I feel like you should run around with your ult at all times. A, it gives you a little bit of move speed, and B, your first attack is an insane amount of bonus damage. And the way I see it, if you could time it right, you could hit someone with your ult, stun, re-ult, and hit them again for insane burst damage. Obviously, it has to be like within a 1 to 2 second window of your ult coming off, but you know, it's very possible. And I feel like if you're in your ult all the time, especially at rank 3, you should be good to go. So anyway, so now I'm going for Yules. As you guys saw before, I decided to pick up my Voidstone for that extra mana regen. You know, I'm at 5.6 mana regen with a Yules and Sage's Mask, and I do have a Staff of Wizardry in the bank. 3 charges on my urn, and now it looks like we are possibly going in for another kill. I end up getting raped by Earthshaker right here. And unfortunately, there's really not much to do at this point. I can't go in because we are under a turret, and if we go in under that turret, we are going to get wrecked. So I do believe we just do a little bit of dancing here. I do believe I give an urn charge to myself, and I think I give one to Night Stalker. Not 100% if I do give one to one of them. Maybe they didn't actually deserve it, so I figured, F it, it's mine. So again, just running around. Not really sure what I'm doing at this point. I could be using my time much more effectively, like going middle, because it looks like my team is looking for a kill. Here I do. I actually end up venturing off. I got about 5 seconds left of the cooldown of my ult. Excuse me. And it looks like I'm going to ult and I'm going to go in this fight. Unfortunately, this was a really bad fight for us to choose. A small space when they have a Kunkka, a Spectre, and, you know, Alina and an Earthshaker. It's pretty much a lose-lose in every situation. So it was a very bad fight to pick. I probably shouldn't have stayed here and fought Alina. Definitely a bad choice on my part. Spike Carapace does come up, but I'm unable to avoid it. Spike Carapace came up as soon as I got chain stunned. And Invoker here ends up living. So it was a 4-for-2 exchange. Not amazing for us, but not super terrible for us either. So, you know, overall, wasn't too bad. Earthshaker here trying to get some lucky slams. But I think at this point, Bounty Hunter was actually complaining that Night Stalker or Invoker picked up, I think, a double damage rune. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was a double damage rune, and Bounty Hunter was like, oh, you know, if you didn't pick that up, I could have one-shot Lina or two-shot Lina, and that fight would have went in our favor. And, you know, at that point, I was just like, he's probably right, but we shouldn't have been looking for a fight in that spot anyway. It was such a choke point. They have it warded. They knew where we were. And, you know, whenever you fight in a spot that small, when they have an Earthshaker, I mean, it's just a lose-lose for you in every single way. This is where I believe I do TP in. I ult down the lane, see if I could find, you know, a quick kill, a cheese kill. And we do end up finding Alina, so that's very nice. Lina, I'm not sure why she was playing so aggressive right here. But Night Stalker ends up picking up that kill, and we are good to go. So, pretty much the role of Nyx at this point is a pure assassin support player. You know, you don't want to show yourself first, because if you show yourself first, you're going to die. I feel like, yes, you do have a stun, and you do have Spike Carapace to get away, but, I mean, I feel like you're very squishy as a Nyx, especially when you're playing support. Granted, I am, you know, I'm 5-2 and 11 right now, so my gold is fairly high. As you can see, I have 8 last hits. Nothing to be proud of. And, you know, so I am picking up items here, unlike I would be doing on, like, a Shadow Demon, for instance, because a Shadow Demon, I pretty much run around with boots and bracers all day. There, my stun, I don't know how, but it ends up picking up Earthshaker. Not really sure how that happened. But I don't know why we all went in. I don't know why Shadow Fiend decided to run in and risk this. I end up going in. I get dusted and killed immediately. You know, bad play on me. I thought I could get Earthshaker. I probably should have just stunned and mana burn, but I didn't think he had his ult, nor did I think he was going to waste his ult on just me. But he ended up turning around and picking me off. So that was actually, at that point, I was like, oh my god, we're throwing this game. What the hell are we going to do? It was a 5-for-0 exchange. We pretty much trailed in one at a time over and over again. I believe this is where Nyx brings himself he brings himself a gem. So now getting kills or initiating with Nyx is going to be a lot. Excuse me, I'm yawning like crazy. Initiating with Nyx is going to be a lot more difficult because I don't have that safety of being able to just vendetta in and not getting wrecked. You know, I have to watch out where Lifestealer is at all times. You know, trying to go around in ward is going to be difficult now because they have a gen. They'll be going to be able to destroy pretty much anything I put up. So at this point, I'm starting to think to myself, like, what are we going to do? You know, all we could hope for is to get a few cheese kills or get a kill on that Lifestealer. You know, get that gem on our side and, you know, not have to worry about it. Then I could go back to what I was doing. As for my next item pickup, I was deciding. I'm not actually sure what I decided to get. I think it may be a Necronomicon. Why I decided to pick up a Necronomicon, I wasn't actually 100% sure. You know, them not really having any Viz people. I think just for the extra DPS and being able to get some solo kills, because when you have a Necronomicon, you can pretty much pick up solo kills rather easily. You know, you open up on someone, you stun, mana burn, throw out your Necronomicon, and at that point, they pretty much take a ton of damage and you're able to kill them. But I think I was debating between Necronomicon and Ghost Scepter. The reason I was going for Ghost Scepter is Nakes and Kunkka, they were doing too much damage at the time, especially Nakes. So I figured if I had the Ghost Scepter, I'd be able to live hands down 100% of the time. You know, I could initiate on Nakes, you know, my stun, mana burn, he comes after me, I could Yules myself, and right when my Yules is done, I could probably land another stun, or if I need to, I could Ghost Scepter, walk away, and then land my stun after that, or, you know, Vendetta off of that. It gave me a lot more options and a lot more survivability, which you'll see towards the end of the game how it actually comes in handy. But, by no means is my play perfect in any way. The main reason I'm making these videos is just to showcase how I play the game, and I'm kind of hoping for pretty much community criticism on what I can do better. You know, I don't mind if people tell me that I'm a terrible player, because in no way, shape, or form do I consider myself as being a pro, or do I consider myself being one of the best DoTA players out there. Yes, I may say it every now and then, but, you know, I was just joking around. But I take criticism very well. You know, if someone can help me improve my play, I will listen to them, no problem whatsoever. And that's pretty much the nature of these videos. You know, I'm hoping to release, you know, maybe one a week, something like that. I know they're rather long, and not everyone can sit through like a 55 to 60-minute video, especially if the game goes that long. But I figured it'd be, you know, something good to watch, something that people can, you know, maybe someone who doesn't know exactly how to play a certain hero or, you know, what to do. Pretty much the main lesson I would learn from this game is no matter how much your teams fight, don't be the person to antagonize other people with the fighting. Just try to level head everyone. Because when people start bitching at each other and they start going back and forth, who's better, who's a scrub, everyone's play goes down. You know, the people bitching goes down because they want to be Rambo, they want to be the saving grace of the team, and you end up losing. So that's pretty much all I did this game. I ran around, I pretty much played a support player, but while playing a support person. Like, I was always on top of my team, you know, telling them what we should do, what I think we should do here. Do I make mistakes? Yes. Are my calls always 100% right? No. But I felt like if you could give your team a little bit of a direction, I felt like you'll be perfectly fine going into, you know, future games or have a higher success of winning. You know, your team bitches and moans, 20% chance of winning. You know, you try to help that team along, it could even be like a 25% chance of winning. You know, your odds will always go up if people start to communicate and people start to play a little bit better. And that was kind of the big downfall of this team. We weren't playing as a team. We were always either three, you know, 2 or 3 guys running around rather than moving as a group. Because whenever we found potential kills, we either didn't have the DPS or we didn't have the backup because the other team came in and ended up dominating us. So right here, I'm pretty much just running around. I'm running around scared, though, because we have 2 wards up, 3 wards up, actually, but they have gems, they have sentries up, so it's very difficult knowing what to do at this point. You know, the last thing I want to do is run around and run into a lifesteal, because I know once I run into a lifestealer, I'm screwed, because I don't have my invis to get away. Yes, I have a stun, but he'll just rage my stun and end up slowing me until his team gets there. So there's really not much to do besides, you know, try to find these potential kills. Here, I probably didn't need to TP out, especially with my ult being up in 20 seconds. But, you know, I figured but I knew there was at least 3 there just from the wards. So I figured, you know, I better just get out. No point of actually sitting there and risking a death. Which is good because I do believe yellow was right where I was at one point. Jeez, as you guys could tell, I haven't casted in a long time. I haven't even talked over a video in a long time, especially a 30-minute video we're pulling on soon. I'm yawning like crazy. So right here, Nightstalker ends up getting killed, loses the Aegis, which, whatever. He tries to get out. I do believe I probably should have Yulesed him, to be completely honest. That was probably a mistake on my part. I felt like if I Yulesed him, waited about a second or so, and then threw the stun, I think he would have lived. But unfortunately, I just threw the stun, and I hope for the best on that one. And now they are continuing to push bottom. We probably shouldn't have tried to defend this because we knew it wasn't going to go over well, especially with our Nightstalker being dead. But we go in anyway. Here we are. I'm mana burning the Nakes. Probably shouldn't be. I should really be focusing on the other players. Here I get absolutely dominated. I use myself at the end thinking I can live, but I'm not actually sure what kills me. I died of Kunkka's splash damage. Otherwise, I would have gotten away. You know, in that fight, we lost 3 and 1 of the Nightstalker before, so we lost that fight 4-1. I feel like if we had Nightstalker, though, we probably could have lived. You know, his ult would have been able to silence Lina, and we probably would have been able to pick up Kunkka. Kunkka got away with like 30 health. It was absolutely ridiculous. At this point, Kunkka and Lifestealer, you know, Shadowblade, Maelstrom, they just purchased respectively. You know, we're now down 4 kills. We were doing very well early on. But we're just falling apart as a team. We're not playing very smart. Force staff. Ooh, he has a force staff. But Nightstalker actually made the good choice of picking up Heaven's Halberd. He'll be able to shut down Lifestealer, you know, at least for the 4-second stun duration, which is really nice. You know, being able to have that utility and shutting down a major part of the DPS is going to be awesome. And at this point, I'm still deciding what to pick up. You know, I pretty much only same items I've had for the past probably 8 or 9 minutes now. You know, Arcane Boots, Yules, and my Urn of Shadows. But at this point, this is when I feel like, you know what, we're just going to go for Necronomicon. The other team at that last team fight, it was 4v5, and they ended up getting away with under 200 HP. So I felt like my Necronomicon would be able to deal enough DPS in order to pick up those kills. So that's why I decided to go ahead and pick it up. Right here, we're almost level 16. We're about to ding level 15 here, get my level 3 ult. And I know once I get my level 3 ult, I'll be a little bit more mobile. I'll be able to, you know, move around the map. A little bit more stealthy. Yes, they do have, you know, their gems and their sentries and stuff. But I felt like I'll be able to at least do a little bit better job scouting than I am now. Because I feel like as Nyx Assassin, that should kind of be your role. Yeah, I mean, yes, your invis is only 20 seconds, 35 seconds, and then 60 seconds or 50 seconds. But within that 20 or 35 seconds, you can get a nice scout on the team and see where they are and probably pick off a potential kill. Right here, this turned into a nightmare. See, they're moving as 5 again. I actually get a pretty insane 5-man stun right there. But Bounty Hunter just got picked off, and there's really nothing we're able to do at that point. I do believe I make the mistake right here of possibly going in. No, I don't go in. I think there's one part where I actually do go in, and I end up almost dying. I end up living with like 60 HP. But as you can see, everyone on our team 4 and 5, 4 and 7, 5 and 10, 6 and 5, 5 and 4. So as a support player, I'm the only positive person on our team, which is weird. You know, we have a Shadow Fiend who has 192 last hits. He's pretty much double every single person on the other team. And yet we're still losing. So I'm not actually sure what item he was going for. Okay, so he had a Shadow Blade and a BKB with just about 1,200 gold in the bank. So, I mean, he's building what he needs to build. I think next he actually goes up for a Crystallis into a Daedalus. Does he complete? I actually do believe he does end up completing it. But right here, you know, they're pushing towers. Granted, we do have 4 towers down, and they have only 3 towers down. Oh, wow. So we're actually ahead of the game a little bit more than, you know, I thought we were a lot further behind than we actually were. You know, we were able to defend a little bit, fairly well. You know, having the Invoker, he really puts on a lot of pressure. You know, you have the Meteor, Tornado, EMP, Ice Wall, your Forge Spirits. So you are able to protect fairly well. Or we were able to, at least. And, you know, for everyone bashing Invoker for being a bad player during the game, he was actually not too terrible. You know, I played with some Invokers who were absolute garbage. But he generally had a sense and knew exactly what he was doing, so it wasn't really he wasn't really the concern. The biggest concern of mine was Night Stalker because he kept getting picked off, and he kept talking shit. Every time he died, he'd been like, "Yep, that Invoker. All he had to do was let me play, and I wouldn't have died, or solo him in, I wouldn't have died." Here I stun, I end up missing. I don't know if he lives. He does live. Yes, I do end up Yulesing and saving our Night Stalker. So I missed the stun, but the Yules ends up coming in handy. Again, another great reason why I decided to pick it up. I felt like it would only able to benefit us. And right here, I do believe we have a 3-on-3 fight coming on. Shadow Fiends ends up BKB ulting, and first thought on my mind has to kill Earthshaker. Earthshaker, he has too much CC. His stuns, his Fisher, and everything, and it's just not worth going for the fights of it. Here I end up Yulesing myself. I think I was just waiting for my stun delay to pop up, just in case, she TP'd through her illusion and started fighting me. I'd rather have her not beating the shit out of me, with a potential gank coming, because I didn't know if there were more people there, because at this moment, we have 0 wards on the map. Again, my fault 100%. I didn't buy them. I didn't have the inventory space to buy them. I felt like everything I had in my inventory was probably too valuable. I probably could have dropped the Null Talisman. Didn't seem like it was needed that much, and why Invoker was all the way down there against 5 of them is beyond me. So pretty much just waiting at this point, running around. I'm trying to figure out what the best move is as of this point. I know we need to win a team fight, or at least kill Nakes and Kunkka, because they seem to be just shredding through our team. Especially if Kunkka gets a lucky crit. It's pretty much death come for us. I'm going in for a little bit of jungling here. Probably not the smartest bet. I don't really need the gold. There's really nothing I need to buy. Reading Spiked Carapace as well. Apparently I don't know what it does. Oh, I think I was curious to see if Spiked Carapace also blocked, like, auto attacks. I'm not sure if I actually tried it on the creeps or not. It's a good question. I actually don't know if it works on auto attacks from the creeps. If it does, it'd actually make it pretty good. So in other news of the game, rather than the game, since there's really nothing going on right now, the next hero that I'm really looking forward to is Soulkeeper. And for people who don't know who Soulkeeper is, he was the guy from Dota 1 who looked like Illidan. So pretty much Anti-Mage, except the Death Anti-Mage. But his abilities were so cool, and he was such a fun person to play because all you did was farm like a beast on him, and you ended up just dominating people. Or you were the initiator in the team where you ran in and you got down to like 40 health, and you had this ability called like Soul Swap, I think it was, or something, where you would, the health you were at, you could then swap it with an enemy or even an allied hero in order to save them, for instance. So I could be at 20 health, run into a fight, swap my health. I believe it brought them down to, I think it was like 35%, 40%, or 45%. And then you would swap their health so you'd have full HP. And you would just dominate the crap out of them. I mean, the downside of Soulkeeper was, this was before when he still had Life Drain. I believe they took out Life Drain and they gave him another ability. But you didn't have any source of slow, stun, or anything. So Sanjin Yash was your big ability, and that was about it. Sanjin Yash was the big enemy you would pick up for the slow or even a basher. Oh, right here was one thing that I was actually very annoyed with. I kept pinging the double damage for Shadow Fiend to pick up, and it took him like 45 minutes to get it. And by the time he actually came over and picked it up, he ended up getting ganked. Like, it took him forever. Do I take responsibility for his death? Yes, in a way, because I pinged him and told him to go. But I don't really take full responsibility for it because he was killing the Ancients when there was a DD up. And I told him the DD is much more important than the Ancients. You pick up the DD and go back to kill the Ancients, you'll kill them at the same speed as if you were just sitting there auto-attacking them anyway. So you were much better off picking up the Ancient, picking up the double damage. And I believe he wrote back that, oh, they were just sitting there waiting for someone. They had it watered and everything. Quite possible that they did, but as we can see on the map now, or at least I can tell just by looking, they didn't have any wards there or anything. They just came in at the perfect time, or it just happened to be they came in at the right time. Now I believe they do pick up Roshan. They're going to give it to Lifestealer. I would have given it to Lifestealer as well. Now they're going to come for the kill on us. Kunkka, I believe he got a little bit too overzealous. I'm over here sitting and trying to click on Spiked Carapace, hoping for the best. We do end up picking up that Aegis very quickly. Lifestealer just picked it up and he's already losing it. We do have a Yules 1 on Lifestealer. Lifestealer is going to run back in. I do believe he's going to pick up a kill. I think I might earn myself another time or not. Invoker buys back for a reason. I'm not really sure. So in that trade right now, it was 2 for none. I guess you could say 2 for an Aegis, which isn't, I guess, terrible in a way. Being able to burn that Aegis rather quickly was actually fairly worth it. Now they're coming in for a Shadow Fiend kill. There is no way I'm letting this happen. I'm going to support the hell out of this. Oh my god. Beautiful triple stun. Beautiful ult into a pickup on Spectre. And now this is where Nake's going to chase me. But no way, bro. I pro-juke you. Pro-juke around the trees. Pick up the double. That Nyx assassin is a boss. Who's playing this Nyx? This guy is one of the best players in the world. But that's what I'm saying. It's just all about smart play. Regardless if you're playing a support or not. Smart play will end up winning the game for you. Here we actually pick up an awesome courier kill. And I do believe I buy Necro 1 right off the bat. Necro 3 off the bat, possibly. No, I just pick up Necro 1. I actually don't even believe I use Necro 1 whatsoever, because I'm a dumbass, and I forget a lot of the items that I do end up picking up. For instance, every time I pick up a BKB, for some reason I forget to use the BKB before it's too late. I'm running around, and all of a sudden it's just like, da-da-da-da-da, and all of a sudden everyone jumps on me, and I'm at full HP at this point. I can just hit BKB and live 100%. But no, I don't do anything. I just sit there, and I'm at 30% health. I'm like, oh, BKB, let me pop BKB. I pop BKB, get auto-attacked and die. So it's like stupidity on my part. 100% stupidity. So here, I said, as a team, we should have pushed this tower. They were 2 dead, 5v3, would have been no problem. But instead, our team decides to split up. We have 3 people top lane for reasons unknown, and me and Invoker just ends up getting picked off. So I'm not really sure what that was about. It was a free tower. 100% free tower. 5v3, I doubt they're going to fight us, and even if they do fight us, I really don't think they're going to win when we have a Shadow Fiend who could just 3-shot their Lina or 3-shot their Earthshaker. So it was kind of a misplay on our team, but again, there's really nothing you can do about that. They were screaming at us. They were screaming at... Or no, I lied. Nightstalker was cursing at Invoker again, saying that, oh, he's an amazing player. Invoker, you're the best player. You should play for, some pro team. And I was just like, dude, really? I mean, I suggested it, and you're blaming someone else? Grow up. That's pretty much what it is. People who play video games, they need to grow up. I think it's sick how people just, for no reason, start screaming at others. And it irks me. Right here, though, we got a Nake's Bomb going on. I'm not sure if we end up picking up Earthshaker. I actually don't believe we do. I do believe I end up paying for this with my life. Here's a Yules into just an easy kill for me. Again, that was completely me and Nightstalker's fault. We were way too overextended with none of our team behind us. But once again, that's the problem. We're up 5, and we know they're going to push. Why aren't we grouped up? We have Bounty Hunter up top soloing or farming. We have 1,600 gold, good for him. But, our tower's getting threatened here. They pick up this tower, we're going to be screwed. That's going to just give them an open racks. And when you have an open racks, it's not fun. Shadow Fiend ends up going here, BKBing. Nothing really comes of it. He didn't have anyone to support him back up. Me and Nightstalker are still dead for about another 25 seconds. So they're going to be fighting 3-on-5 right now with no silence and no stun. It's going to be very, very hard for them to actually hold us. I'm not actually sure if they do. I do think we end up losing the tower. Yep, because there goes Invoker. Invoker ends up just getting opened on. Nightstalker, or Nightstalker, Bounty Hunter, I believe ends up living. Nightstalker ends up just coming in and just starts wrecking. But Nightstalker's back up, or Lifestealer ends up doing that. Lifestealer goes down. I lie. Spectre goes down, and now me and Nightstalker, we're going for the chase. He has the gem. I know he has the gem. I sit here. I Yules myself, dodge 2 abilities with it, come down, pop the stun. I don't pop the stun. I'm terrible. Oh, stun's on cooldown right now. He's running this way. Oh, that was a very bad idea for him. I actually went to skill shot the stun just because he was in the fog. And I was thinking he was going to keep running, but Shadow Fiend ended up picking up anyway. We have Invoker telling people to use your item, okay? I'm not actually sure if we do pick up Lifestealer here or not. I think we chase him pretty deep. I probably could have used him at that range. Oh no, we do dive him because they're all dead. So now they're all dead, and we have a free tower. And we are finally grouped up as a team. you know, it took just about 45 minutes into the game for us to group up as a team and pull a racks. We actually end up pulling the tower and the racks, as well as moving top lane and picking up that racks as well. So at this point, we knew we were in a very good spot. I'm not sure what Earthshaker was doing. Earthshaker decided to just run on in there and get himself killed. I'm at 2,300 gold. You know, at this point, I'm like, okay, you know, we got this game in the bag. We're going to 2-racks them right here because their biggest DPS is down for another 40 seconds. So yeah, here we are. We're just running into the tower here, going to burst the crap out of this thing down. And I'm actually not sure how much more there is after this. Yeah, there goes Lifestealer calling good game. Good game, Lifestealer. I do believe I spiked Carapace this stun, so Kunkka is now deemed useless. I kind of run around here, not really sure what the hell I'm doing. They all had BKBs popped. There's nothing I could do when everyone has a BKB popped. You know, I time it wrong. Lena ended up having BKB up for another like second and a half. I go in here, I Yule Spectre, and now here comes big man on campus, Lifestealer coming after me. Hit him with the stun, get a little bit of a urn on myself, because I know he's chasing me down. And I thought Spiked Carapace would block open wounds, but apparently it doesn't. And I'm not really sure what this Nyx is doing. He's really trying to chase me down hardcore, but no, I'm pretty much going to mana burn him and deem him useless. I mean, Nyx with 0 mana, pretty much all he's doing is he's just a walking melee machine, and he doesn't actually end up doing that much. So here, I end up buying my Necro 3. You know, we're at 4k gold at this point. I'm like, dude, pro. So we pick up Necro 3. And after Necro 3, I do believe I pick up a Ghost Scepter. I sell my Yule, my Null Talisman. I pick up a Ghost Scepter, just to give myself a little bit more survivability. You know, I kind of had it in mind that I was going to be picking up those 2 items, so I figured, you know what, we'll pick it up. And do I pick up another TP scroll? No, because I'm bad. Nope, don't pick up another TP scroll. So yeah, so now we're 2 racks in, and I really don't think there's any way for us to lose this game, but I really don't want to count it out. Because not that I don't have faith in my team, but I don't have faith in my team. So, yes. So, I believe we had our bounty hunter here saying that we needed to group up bottom and push bottom. 100% correct. 100% agree with that. Our lanes are going to continue to push. So, while my team was going to group bottom, I figured, you know what better time than to go harass whoever's trying to push. So, this is where I go. I try to get a little bit of a solo on Kunkka here. I'm going to chase him down because he is overstaying his welcome a little bit too much. And my team starts flipping out when they see me going for this kill. They're like, what are you doing? You're going to end up getting killed. And once you die, that's it. It's going to be game. And I'm like, bro, don't worry about me. I got this. End up doing crazy damage. I popped Spike Carapace a little too late here. But now here comes Nyx. Nyx going to come on me. This is when they start pinging me. I do end up using myself. Ghost Scepter. Oh, makes his open wounds useless. And then, you know, I'm like, screw it. I just had to turn back in. But, you know, they do run away. And it looks like our Invoker is actually coming in for the kill. Beautiful. That was actually a well-placed meteor. It pretty much blocked off his path from running that way. He should have ran that way anyway. I'm really not sure why he didn't. Kind of fault on his part. And at this point, I'm like, you know, let's just go back bottom. So I'm going to pop my ult again because it's off cooldown. Go into the Fog of War. And I believe we are going to take... Where am I? Oh, no. This is where I remember here. This is where I feel like I got to pick him off. So this is where I go for the combo. Open on him, stun, mana burn, pop Necro 3, and now we're just going to hit him. And Necro 3, you are a godsend. You have made me live. At this point, apparently, Earthshaker was AFK. Here, I Ghost Scepter myself, Yules myself, and then I believe I run the other way. Perfect. And I do believe I get a stun on him, and I do believe I live. Nope, I just run away because I am a pro. This Nyx is the best game, or the best character. And I do believe we end up... there it is, this Nyx. Nyx, not Nyx, Nyx. This Nyx. So that's pretty much the game, guys. You know, once you pop Mega Creeps, that's it. It's game over. I think I have heard of 1 or 2 teams actually defending Mega Creeps and someone else backdooring the enemy base and killing them. But generally, once you get Mega Creeps, game's over. I'm just going to fast forward to the end because it's pretty much just us sitting here messing around with them, me earning myself, and nothing coming from it. See, so hard to hold this team together because that's pretty much what I was trying to do throughout the game. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Again, sorry for the length, but there's really nothing I can do with the length of these videos. And, you know, as I said previously, if you guys stuck it through, I would love the criticism. I love when people give constructive criticisms on how I can get better. And if there's any certain support people you'd like to see me play, let me know in the comments. Thank you guys. Have a good one. Mike out.